championship this year, or the Bears win in the next 10 years, who would you bet on? I would bet on the Bears over a 10-year period.
I mean, sure, you have a longer runway.
I'm just asking you a question.
Nice.
I don't need you to explain the question. I need you to answer the question.
I think Penn State wins this year, so I will put all my
Come
money.
on, every year you say this.
But now, maybe. But now it's not just me. It's smart people around the college football world.
We've had some of those smart people, and they've said they're not going to win it.
I don't remember those answers. I cannot recall. I don't remember Ryan Harris saying that James Franklin is not good enough to win a national title. That just kind of in one ear and out the other.
It would be pretty funny if they lost to Oregon and like, say, UCLA in back-to-back games.
No, it would not be funny. I'm putting all my emotional eggs in Penn State's basket.
They have a very easy start to their season, by the way.
Yeah, they have some tough ones. Nevada, watch out. FIU.
Nevada, FIU, Villanova, Oregon, but at home, at UCLA, Northwestern.
You're going to go to that game?
At
UCLA?
Iowa?
Watch some real football?
No. The Rose Bowl's
You
far,
can be boots
dude.
on the ground. Come on.
The Rose Bowl's far from my house. All right, so it's man, your schedule's brutally easy this year. Oh, you are going to make the college football playoff. Northwestern at Iowa. Oh, it'd be so funny if you lost to the Hawkeyes. At Ohio State, you're going to lose that game. You don't think you're going to lose to Ohio State?
I'll say this.
Why are you laughing?
They better. No, because I just love the assuredness. That's a loss. No shot there.
At Ohio State? Yeah, kind of.
I'll say this. This is the year, if you're going to beat Ohio State in the shoe, this is the year to do it. They're a better team than Ohio State.
Host Indiana at Michigan State, host Nebraska at Rutgers.
Hey, Indiana was a playoff team last year.
It's going to be really funny when you go undefeated and then you lose in the first round of the college football playoff.
Which would be a failure.
To who would that be? Well, you'd get a bye, so it would be an SEC school.
You could say any team would not matter. It would be a
Texas.
massive failure. If they had an Oregon season last year, you win the conference 13-0 and you get steamrolled like they did against Ohio State, it's the worst season of my life.
How many losses ruin the season? How many losses in the regular season? If you lose to Oregon, Iowa, Ohio State.
If they go I'll say this. If they go 9-3, like you just said, somehow make the playoff and win the national title, best season of my life. Those losses don't matter. Of course.
Who cares if you lose to Michigan if you win the whole thing?
So just
Ohio State.
So just like if you go undefeated and you finally beat Ohio State in Columbus and you lose in the national title game even. It's all for naught. All for naught. It's like Arch Manning hype-wise. It's either you are the best there ever was.
You're setting yourself up for heartbreak, man.
You're
setting yourself up for real heartbreak.
I am emotionally removed from the Colts. It's all in Penn State's basket this year.
I'm going to emotionally move on from this conversation because we're out of time. But thank you to Zach Jackson. Thank you to Ryan Hickey. Thank you for listening wherever you are. We appreciate you. This is a lot of fun. We love doing the show, and we hope you come back and hang out with us again tomorrow here on Right of the New.
Empower. Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
Lowe's knows to bring your vision to life, it's important to find the right color. That's why MyLowe's Rewards members get a free Valspar paint or exterior stain sample to test your look to confidently refresh your space. Offer valid in-store only 8/7-8/20. Limit 1 per customer while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See associate for details. Rewards program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
When it comes to protecting your home, don't gamble with just any roofer. Trust the pros at the Boone Group Roofing. Locally owned by Toot Boone, they've been serving all of Eastern North Carolina with honest, high-quality roofing you can count on. They offer no money down, and every job is backed by a 5-year workmanship warranty because your roof should be done right the first time. Don't wait. Call today at 252-714-0021. For a roof that's built to last and service you can trust, the Boone Group Roofing is on top of their game.
The Toot Boone Boogie. Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. That's why I'm here. State Farm agent Timothy Sawyer and my team are here to help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score some savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, Timothy Sawyer, at 493-0002 today.
It's time to shack things up at Burrito Shack. Whether you're craving bold burritos, tasty tacos, or crispy nachos, they got the flavor you're looking for. Made from scratch, chef-inspired, fresh Mex cuisine, served up with a side of laid-back beach vibes. Fast, fresh, and totally delicious, Burrito Shack is where flavor meets the coast. Located in the Lowe's Food Shopping Center in Winterville. Quick, crafted, coastal. Burrito Shack. Hey, Righty, you feeling okay? You've been dragging all day.
Ugh, don't even talk to me, Lefty. These shoes are a disaster. My arch is crying.
Dude, we have to go to Fleet Feet. They have a 3D scanner to customize shoes for every foot.
Wait, like custom fit? For me?
Yes, you and me. They have the top brands such as OnCloud, Brooks, and Hoka, plus many more. Fleet Feet, where fit happens. Schedule your appointment at fleetfeet.com or come in today and treat your feet right. Find your perfect pair at Fleet Feet.
You would do anything to keep your family safe. Don't leave safety to chance with national companies or do-it-yourself systems. Hi, this is Mike Robertson, the owner of SCI Technologies. We have recently merged with High-Tech Communications to become North Carolina's premier security, audio, and fire alarm provider. The most cost-effective solutions for your home or business security and life safety needs. SCI Technologies, 252-321-7006. That's 321-7006.
Miss Shirley, play my dad's commercial now.
Okay, Lincoln, you got it.
Looking for the best ride on four wheels? I'm Brian Harris with 360 Golf Carts in Greenville. From parts to sales to service, we've got you covered with E-Z-Go, Club Car, and rugged utility carts ready to roll. Locally owned and operated, we'll even deliver right to you. Come see me on Highway 43, just past D.H. Conley High School, or visit 360golfcarts.com.
360 Golf Carts, pirates supporting pirates. Arr!
Overtime Tavern is the place to be for great food, cold drinks, and all your game day action with over 10 TVs. Swing in today and try a mouth-watering burger, glizzies, wings, or check out their daily specials featuring some of the best items on the menu. OT's has a weekly lineup of entertainment starting Tuesday with Singo, Wednesday is sports trivia with Clip Brock, and Thursday's local acoustic acts playing the tunes. OT's is located on Charles Boulevard across from the Sheets and is open daily from 11 a.m. to midnight. There's always time on the clock at Overtime Tavern.
This is proud ECU alumni David Price of David Price Construction. As a leading general contracting firm, we specialize in commercial construction and renovation. Whether it's updating your office space, renovating your restaurant, or building a new retail store, our team at David Price Construction is ready to assist. We are committed to delivering quality, value, and customer satisfaction across all of our projects. So give us a call at 919-820-3612 or find us online at davidpriceconstruction.com. Go Pirates.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
This is the Rich Eisen Show.
Hey, every... The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Eastern North Carolina's longest-running sports radio call-in show. The Brian Bailey Show is on the air. The Brian Bailey Show on Pirate Radio is brought to you by
Bojangles, Bostic Sugg, Michelob Ultra, East Coast Grading, Gavigan Insurance, Greenville Auto World, Greenville Utilities, Papa John's, Pepsi, QC Kinetics, Taft and Hagler, The Rick House, and Tiebreakers.
And now, here's Brian Bailey.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome into our show. We're getting closer and closer to that opener against the Wolfpack of North Carolina State. Live in the studio today, Josh Aldridge in his first year as the defensive coordinator at East Carolina. Coach, how was camp this year?
I'm glad it's over. We got a lot of work done. You're ready to just chomp at the bit to play your first opponent, so we're excited to get going.
We're also taking your questions or comments on our YouTube live page on Pirate Radio. This is the Brian Bailey Show, and we're back with more with Josh Aldridge after this.
Fun stuff.
and Pireware.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory of ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking in downtown Greenville. Visit them online at Pirateware.com. Go Pirates!
Hot days, cool deals, summer sizzles at Bostic Sugg Furniture. You'll find sizzling savings on hundreds of items in stock. Save on beautiful living room furniture, dining rooms, and bedroom furniture. Save up to 70% off clearance items, plus 6 months special financing. Raise up your sleep level and get a free motion base upgrade with Beauty Rest Black or Helix mattress purchase with up to 60 months special financing. Hot days, cool deals, summer sizzles at Bostic Sugg Furniture. Now that's hot.
The stifling heat of summer, the bitter cold of winter. What do they have in common? The extreme temperatures of both force your home's heating and cooling system to work overtime to keep you comfortable. And that can cost you a lot of money. Fortunately, your neighbors at Greenville Utilities have several ways you can save energy. And that means saving you money on your utility bills. Just go to GUC.com and look for ways to save. That's GUC.com.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers. Join us today for
big, juicy wings.
All season long at Tiebreakers.
Tiebreakers, with 2 locations in Greenville and on Railroad Street in Winterville.
Hey, it's Mika with QC Kinetics, and summer is here, which means you don't want your joint pain to stop you from living your best life. It's time to get out on the ocean. It's time to get out hiking. But you know what? Your achy knees could prevent that. I was in a horrible car accident, and my knee was wrecked. And thanks to QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine, we're all better. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Don't wait any longer. QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine. Real results right now. Call now to schedule your free consultation, 252-645-6458.
Hi, this is Yukanda Dunn, Vice President of Business and Workforce Solutions at Pitt Community College. As part of the local business community, I know the power of a skilled workforce. That's why I'm excited about our programs. We're passionate about partnering with you, the business community, to ensure our local talent gains the practical, hands-on skills your company needs. Let's work together to build your team and grow our community's success. Discover how we can support your business at pittcc.edu/workforce.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, working for our community, not for shareholders. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show on this Tuesday afternoon. East Carolina and North Carolina State, a week from Thursday. We've opened up our chat line here on the YouTube page for Pirate Radio. Brandon has written in already, wants to know what it's going to take to win on the road in Raleigh. The Pirates have lost 3 of the last 4 in Raleigh. What do you think the key is? And Coach Harrell talked about it today, that dealing with the crowd is going to be a big aspect.
I we're going to have to deal with that. The biggest thing I think in any game, but especially the first game, the team that makes the fewest mistakes will win, right? And, you're coming out of camp. They've got new starters. We've got new starters. How quickly can those guys become guys that can do their job and play at a high level will be the biggest thing. So, we just got to line up and play. Obviously takeaway battle is a big deal. That was a big deal in the bowl game. I consider fourth downs the same thing. Stopping them on fourth down or getting fourth downs, it's going to be a big part of it. And so I think the focus has to be on us and us just doing our job and how quickly can those guys adapt to being the guy.
You were hired on December the 18th, so you were at the bowl game. As you were telling me earlier, you were on the headset kind of just listening in.
Yep.
That had to be a little bit different, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really funny. We won. We won.
You were part of it, so it's a we, yeah.
We go down there on the field, and I FaceTime my wife, and she's like, "Why are you FaceTiming me right now?" And all these people are around. It's like, well, I got to talk to somebody because I don't know anybody's name besides Blake. It was a fun experience. I was there. I got there, I guess, 2 days before the game. I got there the morning before the walkthrough the day before the game. So I got to see them walk through the day before the game and then go through that whole process, and got to go to a Pirate Club deal before the game and all those things and meet some people. So it was a great experience. And just to I met with some key players that I knew that were coming back, just to kind of get a feel for those guys. And I remember meeting with Raheem and Sam and Jamarlee and a few guys. And just so that was a valuable thing for me, just to get a feel for what we had coming into this season.
And it had to be valuable, too, because in this day of NIL and transfers left and right, you got to make relationships as soon as you possibly can.
Yeah, and I think none of those guys we were really worried about leaving per se. Yeah. It was more so just solidifying, hey, we're not about to just blow up what we're doing on defense, right? There'll be some differences and things like that, but we're going to put you in the best position to be successful. And that's what I assured them, because it's a unique deal. Normally you have a new head coach and all of a sudden you have a brand new coaching staff, right?
Right.
And there's just so much carryover from last year. And I'm one of the new guys, but I'm the guy calling the defense. So just trying to bridge that gap with the guys we have coming back was really important for Coach Harrell and myself. So.
How does the Josh Aldridge defense differ from the Blake Harrell defense?
I can't say all those things, but it's they're
without giving anything away.
Yeah. I think the thing I'll say is this: Coach Harrell and I are on the same page that it's not Coach Harrell's defense, Coach Aldridge's defense. The most important thing is our players,
right.
And is how can we get our best players in the best position to be successful. And how can we do what we do best in general as a team, as a defense? So, that's changed year to year for me. I've been a D coordinator at 3 different places, and some years we're more of a zone team, more of a man team, more of a 4-man front team, more of a 3-man front team. Coach Harrell's the same way. I think if you look at Coach Harrell all the way back to Citadel and Lenore Ryan, it'd look a lot different than when he was at ECU. And that's just, I think that's a sign of a good coach, because defense is so much different than offense. The offense dictates the game in their mind, right? A good defensive coach can dictate the game by controlling what you're doing on defense and controlling what your players are doing that they're good at. So, so to say it differs, there'll be some differences for sure. But I think it's more so got to do with our players and how can we go make plays and what we're good at.
Is there added pressure because Blake was the defensive coordinator, now he's the head guy, or is it just there's always pressure, it doesn't matter what it is?
Yeah, there's always pressure's a privilege for me. If you don't have pressure, you're not in a good situation. If I didn't have any pressure, I probably don't have a very good job. So, I don't worry about that. I think some people worry about, it's kind of like, I think I actually said on this show the last time I was on here, it's kind of like you take a class, everybody tells you don't take the class that the teacher did their dissertation on, right?
Right.
And it's going to be really hard. But I welcome that, man. Blake has been a phenomenal defensive coordinator. That's why I took the job. It's not like I came in here not knowing he was the D coordinator, not knowing what he's about. Like, we've known each other. And there's a lot of things we're on the same page about. And there's some things, we have to have a discussion and all those things. But, I'm really excited about it. He's a great set of eyes for me, and really excited about just how we can mesh together and And you love. I personally love having a defensive head coach. They're very rare in this profession, honestly.
Right.
And so it's really neat for me because I think it helps us get better.
John David Baker was here last week, and he talked about the fact he went on the field last year and really liked it down there, and I think he's going to stay. What is your preference, press box or on the field?
I wouldn't necessarily say I have a preference, similar to what I was saying about the defense. I'm going to go to the press box just because Coach Harrell is going to be on the field, obviously. Right. I just think it would be a waste for both of us to be on the field. So I'm going to go to the box. And then at the same time also, you've got all these position coaches who have coached these guys over a set of time.
Right.
So they're comfortable with those guys, looked them in the eye a bunch. So let's let them be on the field, and I'll go to the box and be the eyes in the sky and call the defense.
Yeah, and you look at your staff. I mean, Roy Tesh was here.
Yeah.
You look at Mags. Mags was here. In fact, a story about Mags real quick. We found some more video of his interception against NC State that we always get on him about. And we found an on-field interview with him. So we're looking forward to getting that thing out there.
When they introduced me to Mags, they said, this is Coach Magzu, our safeties coach, the legend. This is the guy who picked off Russell Wilson. And he would hate if he ever sees this.
Oh, yeah, he does.
But like I said, so it wasn't just Coach Harrell. I mean, I've known Roy Tesh as long as I've known Coach Harrell. Okay. I've known Rico Zachary, I think, longer. Rico Zachary was the head coach at a high school in Carrollton, Georgia, when I was at West Georgia in 2014. So, that was a huge thing for me. It wasn't just Coach Harrell. Coach Harrell was a huge part of it, a very large percentage of it. But when you come in and you're not going to hire a bunch of staff, you obviously need to know the people that you're retaining, right? And the reputation that Coach Tesh and Coach Zachary had was phenomenal. And then, then we added Coach Teron Williams, who is an incredible corners coach. I mean, I think Pirate Nation should be excited about him. He does a great job. And then, obviously, everybody knows about Coach Magzu.
Yeah. When you look at guys like that, it takes coaches that and I get a chance to go to practice, so I see it, when I get the chance to go out there. But these guys, they have their room, and they're really, just so into that room and those players, and they understand some of the guys are going to play a lot. Some of those guys, are young, and they're trying to develop them. But there's just a whole plethora of what goes on with those guys in their particular room.
Yeah, I think, that's a huge part of it is those guys take a big pride in the guys they coach. But I think that might go by the wayside at times that nobody understands is it's our defense, right?
Right.
And all these players understand, like I made it very clear early on, it doesn't matter if you play defensive end or linebacker or safety, Coach Williams gets to coach you. In terms of your efforts, in terms of how you play the game, all those things. It doesn't matter if you play linebacker, safety, or corner. Coach Tesh is going to coach you. And it's about us. Like that's Coach Harrell's deal, and he's right. It's about us. We're all in it together. So it's never, I play corner, who's this D-line coach getting on to me for giving great effort or doing my job? It's no, we're all in this together. And, like I said, it's our defense. There's a slide that pops up before every single unit meeting we have. It says our defense in the middle and has every single player and every single coach's name on it because it's ours. Because when that film pops up, it has our name on it. It's not just the corners or just the linebackers or just the safeties. It's not just Roy Tesh is responsible for the D-line. The whole defense, we're all taking ownership of it. It's not, like I said earlier, it's not Josh Aldridge's defense. It's our defense.
This is looking way ahead. So you may not like this question, but Robert writes in and asks about Army. And he asks just, is it about run fits or is it about scheme when you're battling Army? And Army's going to be a tricky game for East Carolina on the schedule because you got BYU on Saturday that week, and then you got Army on Thursday. And Coach Harrell has said you guys have done a little bit of work, on an Army-type situation because it's going to be a short week.
Yeah, I mean, I think so just going back, I played at an option school, right? I've coached at an option school. Coach Harrell has as well. And it's got a lot to do with your culture, first off, right? Because those guys, it's less about what they do. It's more about how they do it, right?
Yeah.
It's their personality. It's what they practice all the time. And you've got to completely change, or I say completely change. You've got to really alter what you're doing to get ready for it. But it's no different than what I'm talking about with NC State. Like, we're transitioning from fall camp to getting ready for a game. That doesn't mean that we're not still emphasizing getting better and doing our job and all these things. And I think that that's what an option school wants you to do. They want you to focus so much on, you've got this, you've got that, all these things. And what it does is it makes you hesitant. It takes away your aggression, right?
Right.
Whereas the inverse of it is you've got to go be aggressive and you've got to do your job and you've got to play with great effort, but you've still got to do your job, right? So I think it's both. I just think we've got to do no different than any other game. What is the easiest to get ready in a short week to be able to go out there and do our job and play with phenomenal effort, but not take away our aggression just because we're playing a different offense.
He who hesitates is lost, correct?
Ain't no question. Yeah, ain't no question.
Yep, there you go. Josh Aldridge is our guest. We're taking your questions and comments on our YouTube page. Also, we've got Coach until about 12:45. He's got to get back over to campus. We got about 30 more minutes to go with Aldridge. We will take a commercial break right now. Back with more on this Tuesday on the Brian Bailey Show for you right after this.
It's bow time. Sure, you've had a sausage biscuit before, but have you had the smoked sausage biscuit from Bojangles? Well, now is your chance. Juicy, slow-cooked smoked sausage is grilled to perfection and served on a fluffy, made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. No one does breakfast like Bojangles, and this smoked sausage biscuit doesn't disappoint. Right now, you can get 2 for just $5. Start your day with this flavor-packed deal while it lasts. It's bow time.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah. Get your game faces on, Pirates. It's Lindsey Gray with Carolina Caliber. It's time to blast the cannons in the stands and the fields, if you know what I mean. We're flying into Duff season with shotguns galore and shells for days. Don't miss out on Beretta's rebates on 17 different models of long guns and handguns. Get up to $350 back. Get ready for hunting season with the best deals around and the largest selection of firearms and accessories in Eastern NC. Shop online or stop by Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville. It's a time-honored tradition.
Hey, O's fans, on Saturday, September 6th, celebrate the 30th anniversary of Cal Ripken Jr.'s 21-31 as the Orioles host the Los Angeles Dodgers at 7:05. Arrive early for a special pregame ceremony featuring Cal Ripken Jr., family, and friends. Plus, don't miss limited edition 21-31 merch at the Orioles team store, pop-up exhibitions in Legends Park, and live music from the Coors Light stage. Join us for this unforgettable night honoring the Iron Man's historic achievement at Orioles.com/tickets.
Beauty Bar Medi-Spa offers non-surgical aesthetics. Our expert team of licensed professionals is dedicated to offering personalized solutions giving you stunning natural-looking results. Fall into beauty with our biggest sale of the year starting September 15th. Enjoy exclusive savings and products including Botox, Xeomin, dermal fillers, laser treatments, hydrofacials, and more. Don't miss out on this incredible sale. September 15th through September 26th. Beauty Bar Medi-Spa is located on 1021 Red Banks Road. For more information on all of our services, visit beautybarmedispa.com. Fall into beauty and mark your calendars. Go Pirates!
Russell's is a full-service clothing store for both men and women. Family-owned and operated in historic downtown Washington for 41 years. This is Rhonda from Russell's, and we visit the country's largest markets to bring you quality clothing at affordable prices. From the finest in men's suits, sports coats, and accessories to fashionable dresses, tops, and jewelry for the women. Our attention to every detail means personal service and in-house alterations. Give Russell's a try. You, our pirate friends and customers at Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington. Go Pirates!
We all have seniors in our life who may need a little extra help with technology. University PC Care's Quick Helps are affordable, in-store, short appointments designed for seniors who may need a little TLC to help with setting up a new computer, help with email or passwords, or help with the latest online scam. They don't need to fear technology anymore. Call 252-558-1280 to schedule an in-store Quick Helps appointment for Greenville or New Bern. Learn more at universitypccare.com.
Get ready, Pirate Nation.
This is Victor Ihuka, Ambassador for the Greenville Museum of Art.
And Elena Corsini, President of the Board of the Greenville Museum of Art. Get in the game for style. Join us at the Greenville Museum of Art on Thursday, September 11th from 5:30 to 8 p.m. for Fashion on Display.
See a dynamic runway show. Enjoy appetizers, an open bar, and pop-up shopping.
For tickets, go to gmoa.org.
Set sail for style, pirates.
Time for additional facts.
The IRS, the world's most aggressive collection agency. They can seize your property, bank account, and garnish your...
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, working for our community, not for shareholders. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to our show as we continue on this Tuesday. Josh Aldridge, in his first year as defensive coordinator at East Carolina, he'll make his Pirate debut coming up a week from Thursday when the Pirates take on the Wolfpack of North Carolina State. Before you arrived at East Carolina, what did you know about East Carolina and NC State and that rivalry?
You know, I didn't know a ton about the rivalry. I knew about both schools. You know, we played NC State the COVID year when I was at Liberty. So I've coached in that stadium before. It was half empty, but it was actually kind of one of the more rowdier ones during COVID. I don't know what rules they had. There were some people there.
There were some different rules going on, wasn't there?
Yeah, no doubt. And then East Carolina, you know, I recruited against them a lot when I was at Liberty, so knew it was a very proud program, and a lot of people in the state wanted to go there. You know, I recruited some guys like J.D. Lampielli and Xavier McIver and Tegan Wilk. You know, I could recruit all Tay Johnson. I recruited all those guys when I was at Liberty, so ECU got the best of me with those guys. So I knew about them separately, but not really the rivalry themselves.
You know, Pirate football went to Liberty last year, and I thought that was a really neat trip. It was a bizarre game because we had a 7-hour rain delay, and we didn't start until like 11 p.m. But besides that, I thought, you know, that's a beautiful area up there, and I think it's a good game for East Carolina.
Yeah, it's a good place. You know, I'd love to play them again, and you know, got a lot of people up there that I respect a lot, and administration that do a great job.
Let's go through the two scrimmages. One of them was open for a little bit to us, and the other one was closed. But when you look at the scrimmage games, how did they differ for you on your side of the football with the defense, and how far did you guys come along?
Yeah, you know, I thought in the first scrimmage, I didn't think in either of them we've had a horrible scrimmage per se, but the first one I thought we were just too inconsistent. You know, we gave up some big plays that we were not giving up during the practices. And, you know, some of that probably was because we were live and maybe you thought they would have tackled them in some practices and we were live and we didn't get them down. And then we're really talented on offense, you know. So, I mean, at any given time, a missed tackle would turn into from a 10-yard gain to a 40-yard gain or whatever it is. Now, in the second scrimmage, I thought it was much better. I thought we did a good job of staying on top and doing a good job of preventing explosive plays and making them go the length of the field. So, just pleased with where we're going. Like I've said all along, you know, we've got an older group, but that doesn't always mean an experienced group, right? So, you know, you think you know some things, and then you got to put them in some situations. Well, actually, you know, you need to handle this way in that situation. So, as much as we could have got 11 on 11 out there was the biggest thing that I wanted to see, and Coach Hill did a great job of doing that, and I think we've gotten better. Probably every day but one during fall camp, so I was really happy with that.
How did this fall camp for East Carolina compare to other camps that you've been a part of, maybe in Auburn and other places like that?
Man, I was just really impressed with how consistent our kids are. They brought it every single day. You know, you wake up every morning during fall camp, you're like, is this the day I'm going to have to pull teeth to get these guys going?
Yeah.
And every day I would view it like that, so... But I never had to. You know, I thought they did a great job of bringing it. Don't get me wrong, that we didn't play perfect or anything like that. But in terms of attention to detail, the effort of attention to detail or the effort of running to the ball and things like that, you know, I did see that there. So I was really impressed with that.
How much of defensive philosophy is effort and is, you know, maybe even is enthusiasm? I mean, how much of that is part of defensive football?
Well, I don't know if you know this. All these offensive guys, to be an offensive coach, you got to have this card. It's called a guru card. All right, okay, you get in your wallet. And but you know, when offensive guys, I'm joking, but when offensive guys drop a play, you know, they're not counting on the guy that's running across the field with phenomenal effort, or the backside player playing with phenomenal effort, or all these things. It's all X's and O's. This guy's in this gap, this, that, and the other. So that's an eraser, right? That's an equalizer. So playing with great effort is an equalizer. Playing with great effort keeps a 10-yard play becoming a 20-yard play. Playing with great effort covers up some mistakes that somebody else might make, right? So that's just something that's got to be the foundation of your program, and I think Coach Harrell does a great job with that.
Let's go through your position groups, and I think when you look at the defense for East Carolina, the big concern, at least going in, had to be on the defensive line, because you lost some really good players from last year.
Yeah, I mean, those guys played a tremendous amount of snaps. You know, that was a group that really impressed me when I was at the bowl game and all those things. But, I mean, you look at a guy like Zion Wilson. I mean, I'm really impressed with him at nose guard as a guy who had, just in terms of, I'm surprised he hasn't played more. And he's just really strong. And then Xavier McIver, I've known since he was in high school. You know, I thought he had a really good fall camp. I think Pirate Nation can be excited about him on that interior D line. And then I just think we've got a surplus of pass rushers. I mean, we might go out there and not get any sacks. I don't know. But it just, how I've seen it in fall camp, I think we've got a surplus of pass rushers. You know, I've been blessed that I've been on a lot of defenses that we've gotten after the quarterback. You know, at Liberty, we were top 10 in the country in sacks. Several years I was there. We led the nation in sacks when I was at Lenore Ryan. And I think we've got quite a few of those guys who can line up and win. And, you know, that's a huge part of football is, you know, when you get your one-on-one, who wins, right? Because, you know, variably during a game, there's 11 guys on the field. There's probably going to be 4 to 5 one-on-ones on any given play, and who wins the most of those is going to win that play. And so when it comes to rushing the passer, you need some of those guys, and I think we have quite a few of those.
I mean, Coach Tesh is always joking that it's like hockey lines that he sends out there.
Yeah.
He's got it. He's got a system, and he enjoys that. And I think the guys enjoy it too. I think the guys understand that they want to be out there and be fresh when they get out there.
Yeah, I think that's a benefit you have on defense, because on offense, I think we sub a little more than most offenses on the O-line, but I mean, the majority of the time, those guys don't want to sub a ton just because of the continuity and the level of play and all these things. But on defense up front, you love to sub because now those guys are fresher and those other offensive linemen are staying on the field. So if there's not a big drop-off, which I don't think there is between our 1s and 2s on the D-line, then you got a really good shot to have a good year.
So against NC State on Thursday, a week from Thursday, we'll see a lot of defensive linemen.
Yeah, if they're listening, we're going to play 30 D linemen. Tell them 30. We're gonna bring 30.
All 30 of them.
All 30 of them.
Guys we don't even have on the roster yet are going to try to play. All right, let's go to the linebacker position. What do you see there?
You know, I think, you know, similar to the D-line in terms of you got some unproven guys that have not started. You know, you look up, and the only guy who played significant snaps last year at linebacker was Day Wilson. You know, you've got Sam Danka, who played a decent amount last year, but he wasn't playing linebacker, or he wasn't playing inside linebacker. He's playing outside linebacker. He's playing inside linebacker now. You got Jackson Barker, who was playing outside linebacker last year. You've got DJ Johnson, who was still a really young player, but really talented. And then Noah Holmes, who's always been kind of a journeyman role player. And then you got some young guys. So, you know, I think it's similar. You know, what I've loved coaching those guys is they don't know who's going to run with the ones every single day. And so it kind of pushes them that they better have a great day because they might roll somebody else with the ones the next day. And so been really pleased with their effort. And we just got to continue to develop that room because, you know, those guys, that's why I like coaching those guys as the defense coordinators, because that's kind of like the center of your defense, right? And those guys are the bridge between the front and the back end. So we got to continue to develop the leadership and the composure there. Not that we hadn't been composed, but I think that's a huge part of playing the game at that position is composure, but still playing like you were talking about with the Army stuff, playing with great effort and aggressiveness.
You know, you were talking about this on Media Day, talking about in the helmet communication deal, and that's a little different than it. Obviously, it's evolved over time, but it's different when you're in that helmet, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, I probably got to pinch myself sometimes because I use it as a situation to where I can kind of have a side conversation with them that's not very nice, and instead of giving them the call. So, but yeah, I think it's an advantage that we've got to use. And, you know, I know it's probably more of an advantage on offense. But on defensively, I think it's a situation where I can help those guys get lined up and all those things.
Is there a mute button that the guy? If he...
They probably wish there was. Yeah, I asked them. I asked them one day. I said, "Am I worse than Coach Harrell yelling at y'all on the headset?" And they said about the same.
Well, there you go. Consistency matters. On it. That's
correct.
exactly
So you're used
right.
to it. Yeah.
All right, let's go through the defensive backs then. What do you see there with that crowd?
Steady Eddie with the safeties. I mean, with Tegan Wilkin, Jamarlee Riddle right there. I think that's as good of a safety group back there as at the Group of 5 level. I mean, Jamarlee is a phenomenal young player as a sophomore. I don't even view him like a sophomore. He doesn't look you in the eye like a sophomore. And then Tegan has played so much at 2 different places, including here the first time. And he just retains and picks things up so quickly that he seems very composed out there. He's probably our most composed player on defense. Nothing kind of phases him. He's really relaxed and gets lined up, adjusts things for guys, and he's really kind of a quarterback for us when it comes to that back end. So those 2 high safeties are really big. At the star position, it's kind of similar to linebacker. Got a wide open competition there still. I couldn't even tell you who our starting star is right now. Not because those guys aren't very good, but just KJ Merrill, JoJo Jean, and Alex Moy, local guy, have had a really good fall camp, and all 3 of those guys are going to play for us. So really excited about those guys. They're kind of a Swiss Army knife between a linebacker and a safety and a corner, and they've done a really good job this fall camp. Out there at corner, Rasheed Reasons, transfer from Old Dominion, has really impressed me this fall camp. I think he's solidified himself as a starting corner for us. He is by far the most consistent guy in the room. The other guys have had a good camp, but, he kind of has separated himself as a clear-cut guy. Those other guys, Jordy Lowry, Key Crowell, Tamir Brown, all these guys who have been here either before that we brought in the spring, they've had great fall camps as well, and I think it's an ongoing battle right now. That's what I keep saying. That is a blessing as a coach. A lot,
right.
On offense, I know some people say if you got 3 quarterbacks, you don't have one. All those things. That's not true on defense. You want a constant competition where those guys can be held to the standard every single day, and if they don't meet it, they're not going to start. So I've really enjoyed that, and I'm impressed with those guys, with the work ethic they have. And so I'm really excited to see how that room's going to continue to play out.
As you get set to narrow it down, somebody's got to start. What do you cut the line at? Do you go into next week and say, okay, this is our starting lineup, or do you wait until Thursday night and throw them out there?
It's semantics anyway, in my opinion, just because you rotate so much anyway. Right? So, to say the guy that goes out there first is the best guy isn't necessarily always the case, right? It's more about that guy in practice did this, he earned it, here we go. And it's just a way to hold guys to the fire, because in this way of NIL and all these things, how do you motivate these guys besides playing time, right?
Right.
So, that's where I think it's a benefit for us as coaches is if you've got depth there, you can say, look, he had a better Tuesday, you can have a better Tuesday next week, or he had a better Wednesday, or whatever it is. And so I'm just really excited about that room in that regard.
On the same topic, it was weird to me. Somebody was sharing with me about NIL that, one of the guys that donated at the time was mad because his guy wasn't playing any, but he'd gotten beaten out by somebody else. And this kid may make more NIL money, but the other kid was playing better, so he plays. That's something that 5 years ago you didn't have to worry about.
Well, we got NFL up on this TV right here. There's plenty of guys who sign free agent deals that are lucrative that aren't very stinking good in the NFL. So,
yeah.
don't get me wrong. They're relative. That's all relative, but they don't play up to that ability. It is what it is. At the end of the day, we got to go win games, and that's what Pirate Nation has hired us here to do. And that's what we're going to do. So,
questions and comments before we let Coach go on our YouTube page. Kenny writes in and says, how does East Carolina compare to other places you've been at? He says, folks here say that ECU, or folks around say ECU has an SEC-type vibe. You believe that?
Yes, for sure. That was something that attracted me. Auburn was incredible to me. Great community, all those things. And that's what I've noticed here. Me and my wife talked about the other day. You just kind of get a smaller, not small, but just a smaller SEC version with people in the support. And so really excited about that for my family and our team.
When you look at North Carolina State now, as we wrap things up with Josh Aldridge, when you look at State, Kurt Roper is 30th year of coaching, but he's the offensive coordinator now. Do you look to see things that State did last year as to what you think they'll do this year, or do you think there are going to be some different things that he'll throw out there?
Yeah, I think there's a rabbit hole you can go down there, and you just waste a lot of time. I think you just got to make sure that you're going in the game with something that's sound, that your guys can get lined up and play while also being aggressive. And, it's like I said, game one, new offensive coordinator, all these things, bunch of new players on both sides of the ball.
Right.
I don't believe in going down the rabbit hole and convincing yourself of things. We're going to do what we do. Don't get me wrong. There's going to be some flavors and things like that they hadn't seen, we hadn't seen, whatever. But, at the end of the day, it's game one. It's NC State versus East Carolina. Let's put the ball down and go play. Yeah. And so that's it. We're not going to make it more than it is about I'm a new D coordinator, he's the new O coordinator, whatever it is. Like, let's put the ball down and let's go stick and play and see who can do their job the most times.
When you think of yourself as defensive coordinator and in describing your type of defense, is it a pressure the quarterback type defense? Is it a let the offense come to you type defense? We talked about energy and enthusiasm and that kind of thing, but how do you describe in a couple of words the Josh Aldridge Pirate defense?
Swing first, ask questions later.
Yeah,
that's what I told the defense the first time I met them. We're going to swing first and ask questions later. So, I don't. The biggest insult that could be told to me is that your guys don't play fast. I want to see them play fast and aggressive. We talk about full speed decisions, right? Don't worry about messing up. Go make a full speed decision. And even if you're not in the perfect spot, you'll probably be right. So I want to see our guys go play fast and with effort and energy. We brought them to East Carolina because they're athletic and all these other things. I am holding them back if they're playing slow. So I want to see us make full speed decisions and swing first and ask questions later.
Like a true pirate. That's how you swing your sword, right?
Yeah, swing your sword. Mike Leach, there you go.
There you go. Yep. That's exactly right. What are your emotions going to be like a week from Thursday at Carter Finley Stadium when you're getting ready to go out on that field?
I don't think I can be emotional. I think as a play caller, you've got to emotionally remove yourself from the game. Especially if you're a guy that goes in the box and all these things. Before the game starts, I gotta get the guys going and all these things. But as the game goes, I'm not playing the game, right? So I've got to make sure they're in the best situation to play. So you've got to kind of emotionally remove yourself from the game. As a coach, because I think if you can get emotional, that can affect your play calling and all these other things. I think the best play callers I've been around, offensively and defensively, stay composed in the moment, all those things. The players, and then on the flip side of that, I tell the players all the time, use your emotions. Don't let your emotions use you. If you let your emotions use you, that thing's like a weapon that can be used for good or bad. And so that's what we've got to go do. We've got to go play aggressive and fast, but we got to be composed. We can't go out there and let something they do or something how the game's going affect how we play. It's about us and how we can dictate the game.
How hard is that, though, when you're talking about, young players like they are and they, you get a wide receiver and a little chippiness going on there, and it kind of snowballs, kind of like the little mini brawl that happened at the end of the game in the bowl game. Yeah. That was kind of a dumb thing that started, and all of a sudden it blew up. But I would say it's got to be, you want these guys to be emotional, to be fired up, but you got to control that emotion all the way up to the game.
Yeah, it's hard for me at 35 years old, so I know it's hard for them at 21 because it was hard for me at 21. But I think that's something that you got to – Coach Harrell does a really good job of that at practice. I think some people let things go at practice in terms of cheapiness and that's going to happen. No, you got to nip it in the bud at practice. Like, look, that's going to get you a penalty in a game. That's going to – you coming off the sideline at practice, that's going to get you kicked out during a game. All those things. Coach Harrell does a great job of making sure those guys know that at practice. So I think that's just – it's just like lining up in a formation. You got to rehearse that at practice. How you play the game, you got to rehearse at practice. So we've got to do a great job as coaches of holding them to the standard in all aspects leading up to the game.
And the one thing that we've seen over the years is that you just don't know how all the players are going to react once the lights come on.
No doubt.
Some players move it up a notch, and some players, they move it down a notch. It's just that's the nature of the beast.
Yeah. The other thing I tell those guys, along with battling their emotions, is go be yourself. I think some players feel like they go out there in a game, all of a sudden, I can't be Josh Aldridge. I've got to elevate this. No, you got brought here to be Josh. You got brought here to be Brian, right? So don't feel like you have to be anybody but yourself, because when you start doing that, you play outside the framework of the defense or the offense, and you screw your team, right? So just go out there and be yourself, play fast, make full speed decisions, and the Pirates will be just fine.
All right, so what are some of the things you're going to do leading up to game week? Because you guys will practice tomorrow. I think you're taking Thursday off, and then Friday we'll start your game week preps, because it's like Coach Ruff used to always say, your Friday's actually your that day, this day, because of the Thursday night game. It's a little bit different. And you've got a bunch of Thursday night games to get used to. But what do you do leading up to that? What are some of the things you want to tweak as you get into game week?
I think the biggest thing is that you want to rehearse game week. We already did it last week a little bit. We're going to do it this week, okay? You're rehearsing game week. That way when game week gets here, it doesn't feel different, right? You feel like you've done it before. You want to rehearse the day before the game. You want to rehearse the game day routine. Just that way it doesn't feel different. Like you're talking about the butterflies, the lights come on thing. Like I've done this already, right? I've done this stretch. I've done this. I've listened to this playlist on my iPhone or whatever. Like just let them rehearse that as many times as you can. That way it doesn't feel different. You're creating muscle memory psychologically, just like you are on the football field. So we want to see them do that, and then you're basically getting double the practice, right? So you're getting. Whether it doesn't matter if we actually do it on a Tuesday or actually do it on Wednesday, but you're getting double the Tuesday practice, double the Wednesday practice, double the Thursday practice, double the Friday practice. So that's really all we're doing, is just trying to make it to where when we get to game week, it feels like it's the third time they've done it.
How excited are you to get things started?
Oh, I'm excited. I'm chomping at the bit. I think the biggest thing that just like our kids are excited though is we've got to make sure that we've basically got 10 days. We had 10 days yesterday. 10 days to get better. Like, don't get me wrong, we're getting ready for NC State, but we've got 10 days to get better. If the focus is just on them, we probably aren't getting better. We're probably just focusing on what we're going to do versus them. We can do both. We can get better while we get ready for them. Like, even though fall camp's over, that doesn't mean we're not trying to get better. And I think the best teams I've been around, that's what they've done. And that's been our emphasis. I thought we got better today. And we're going to continue to do that for the next 9 days.
And, once you get started, it's like a blur. I mean,
there's no question. Once you
get started, boom, you're out there.
We'll kick that ball off on Thursday, and you'll look up, and we'll be in Boca Raton, Florida.
It'll be Thanksgiving.
Yeah, no doubt. So
before you know it.
Yeah.
All right, that's Josh Aldridge, the defensive coordinator in his first year. Coach, we want to get you out of here on time, so we certainly appreciate your time. We'll take a commercial break, come back with more, but we want to get you out of here. So thanks so much for joining us. Best of luck to that Pirate defense a week from Thursday night. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you, guys. Go Pirates.
That's Josh Aldridge. Back with more after this.
Hey Landon, did you hear the news? Oh yeah, Dowdy Ficklin's getting a Mountain Dew makeover. That's right, the Mountain Dude is coming to get rowdy and dowdy. Please tell me he's bringing that neon green coat. Oh, you know it, and get this, fans can actually win one of those custom coats and get recognized on the field during the ECU Army game on September 25th. No way, you'd look good in one of those, man. No, I think it's got your name all over it. Be on the lookout for Mountain Dew standees at your favorite Mountain Dew retailers. Scan the QR code and you could win your own neon coat and a meet and greet with the dude himself. So mark those calendars, Thursday night, September 25th, ECU vs. Army. Let's paint it Mountain Dew green.
Want to make your day better? Order a large original crust one-topping pizza from Papa John's for only $9.99. Take advantage of this awesome carry-out special now by logging on to papajohns.com and make today a pizza day for only $9.99. Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards and start earning points from your favorite menu items. Go Pirates!
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Bond. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Hi, I'm Ken Hagler of Taft Hagler. We're proud to be sponsors of the Brian Bailey Show and the Pirate Nation on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. If you've been injured on the job or due to someone else's negligence in an automobile collision, call us at 752-2000 for a free consultation with experienced professionals who care. Go Pirates!
This is John Gavigan with the Gavigan Agency. Our top priority is doing what is best for our members. Whether you are buying a new vehicle, a new home, protecting your family with life insurance, or filing a claim, our agency will be there every step of the way. Our goal is to become a trusted advisor for you and your family for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. Give us a call in Greenville at 756-1400 for a car, home, business, or life insurance quote today, and give us the opportunity to show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
When it comes to protecting your home, don't gamble with just any roofer. Trust the pros at the Boone Group Roofing. Locally owned by Toot Boone, they've been serving all of Eastern North Carolina with honest, high-quality roofing you can count on. They offer no money down, and every job is backed by a 5-year workmanship warranty because your roof should be done right the first time. Don't wait. Call today at 252-714-0021. For a roof that's built to last and service you can trust, the Boone Group Roofing is on top of their game.
The Toot Boone Boogie.
Big news from the Rick House. The Rick House has a brand new menu that you're absolutely going to love. New on the menu are creamy garlic parm chicken pasta, crab cakes, and our new porterhouse, half filet, half strip, tender and juicy, and grilled to perfection. The Rick House is the area's bourbon authority, featuring Willet, Jefferson Tropics, and the Frank Sinatra Select by Jack Daniels. The new menu features new, lower prices and $4 drafts all summer long. The Rick House, Red Bank Road in Greenville.
This is Jacob Jenkins Cowart, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, working for our community, not for shareholders. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show. We had to get Josh Aldridge out for a meeting, so he has left the building, as they say. I want to thank him for his time, though. He was live in the studio with us. High school football kicks off on Friday night, the return of Touchdown Friday. I think it's our 38th year for high school football coverage at WNTT Channel 9. Very proud of that. And today at the press conference after practice, had a chance to ask Blake Harrell about what he thought about the high school football season starting and how important those coaches and administrations and that kind of thing are to his program.
Yeah, I started out as a high school teacher, actually a middle school teacher. For all the middle school teachers out there, God bless you. It was old junior high where I was at, but started out as a high school teacher, did that 4 or 5 years. I actually thought I would just be a head high school coach and then had an opportunity to get to college, but those people are so special to not only our students across North Carolina, but also our student athletes, and just how the high school football can bring communities together. And just growing up as a young boy in this state, a young man in the state, just realizing that the town, the communities, they rally around high school football on Friday nights, and it's no different in Eastern North Carolina than it was in West North Carolina. And it holds communities together and gives us something to be proud of. And just a shout out to the people that make that happen, from the coaches to the players to the principals to the people selling tickets. And what an awesome experience for those young men, but also for the community. So appreciate what you guys do. Best of luck this Friday night to all the teams out there. I'm sure it's an exciting season. Look forward to watching it and keeping up with it through the season.
That's head coach Blake Harrell from earlier today talking about the start of the high school football season. Several big games on the slate for week number 1. J.H. Rose, the Rampants, are on the road at Northern Nash. That's a huge game as far as both those teams are concerned. When you think back to Rose from last year and the struggles they had, 0-5 starts. So they hope to bounce back from that. They did bounce back last year and had that great run in the playoffs, but they get started with a very tough opponent on the road at Northern Nash. Tarboro at Rocky Mount is another huge game from that area coming up on Friday night. Closer to home here in Pitt County, Conley's at home against Wilmington Laney. Laney coached by Steve Brooks, who used to live, he may still live in the Greenville area, but he was the former ACOT coach, and now he's down at Laney, so I'm sure he's down in Wilmington now. Kinston and South Central also matching up. A lot of folks like those Kinston Vikings this year. They have an experienced team coming back, and so we'll see how they fare against the Falcons in that first game. Our game of the week for Touchdown Friday will be West Craven at Havelock. Big Craven County rivals set to do battle in that one. And our backyard brawl, as far as our rivalry game goes, that will be East Duplin and Wallace Rose Hill. Some of the other games from around the area down south: Richlands at Southwest Onslow, West Carteret at Jacksonville, and White Oak at Northside Jacksonville. All those games on the first week of the season. New Bern has a tough assignment. The Bears go down to Wilmington to take on New Hanover. So that'll be one to look for as well. Farmville Central goes on the road to take on Washington. Brian Pascal back as the coach of the Pan Pack. Martin County at North Pitt. A lot of folks like those Martin County Gators coming up this year. That'll be interesting to see how they do. Goldsboro at Eastern Wayne and North Lenore at Green Central. Just some of the games week 1 of the high school football season. We hope you will join us at 11:05 on Touchdown Friday, the season debut on Channel 9 coming up this Friday night. Now, we've got a big show coming up next week. We're going to talk to some of the players in the past that have done really well against North Carolina State, and we're going to talk to a former Greenville player who actually did well for NC State against East Carolina. Here's our lineup next week. The captain, Shane Carden, will join us. We've got Rajay Harris lined up. He had that big run, of course, last year in the Military Bowl. Andre Brown, the former J.H. Rose star, the Hall of Famer with the Rampants, who played for the New York Giants and won a Super Bowl ring. But Andre Brown scored in overtime to knock off then 15th ranked East Carolina. So we're going to talk to Andre Brown as well, and then we're going to check in with our buddy Todd Gibson at CBS 17, because he's been watching the Wolfpack the entire preseason and in camp when he was allowed to do so. So we'll get some ideas about how NC State and East Carolina will fare from the eyes of Gibby, Todd Gibson. And many of you remember Todd Gibson started his career at WNCT way back in the late 80s. But great show coming up. We'll just be, 48 hours before game time when we reconvene coming up next Tuesday. All right, let's take our final commercial break. We'll do that right now. We'll come back. I'll check in with Clip about his Commanders and my Cowboys, who are both 0-2 in the preseason. But not to worry, it's just the preseason. Back with more after this.
Are you in the market for a member-focused local credit union or making a switch from your existing one? Then explore First Flight Credit Union with branches across Eastern North Carolina, where all residents are membership eligible. First Flight members experience in-person service, competitive savings, and loan rates. Everything from automobile, boat, and home loans, First Flight has you covered. First Flight is more than just a branch. They're on a mission to take better care of our community.
Have to win games 40-30? Is that what's going to have to happen here?
Seems like it.
Are they capable? Hell yeah, they are. Yes.
But you don't want to keep doing that each week.
Yeah, it's not. Best way to.
Hey Landon, did you hear the news? Oh yeah, Dowdy Ficklin's getting a Mountain Dew makeover. That's right, the Mountain Dude is coming to get rowdy and dowdy. Please tell me he's bringing that neon green coat. Oh, you know it, and get this, fans can actually win one of those custom coats and get recognized on the field during the ECU Army game on September 25th. No way, you'd look good in one of those, man. No, I think it's got your name all over it. Be on the lookout for Mountain Dew standees at your favorite Mountain Dew retailers. Scan the QR code and you could win your own neon coat and a meet and greet with the dude himself. So mark those calendars, Thursday night, September 25th, ECU vs. Army. Let's paint it Mountain Dew green.
Want to make your day better? Order a large original crust one-topping pizza from Papa John's for only $9.99. Take advantage of this awesome carry-out special now by logging on to papajohns.com and make today a pizza day for only $9.99. Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards and start earning points from your favorite menu items. Go Pirates!
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Bond. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Hi, I'm Ken Hagler of Taft, and Hagler. We're proud to be sponsors of the Brian Bailey Show and the Pirate Nation on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. If you've been injured on the job or due to someone else's negligence in an automobile collision, call us at 752-2000 for a free consultation with experienced professionals who care. Go Pirates!
This is John Gavigan with the Gavigan Agency. Our top priority is doing what is best for our members. Whether you are buying a new vehicle, a new home, protecting your family with life insurance, or filing a claim, our agency will be there every step of the way. Our goal is to become a trusted advisor for you and your family for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. Give us a call in Greenville at 756-1400 for a car, home, business, or life insurance quote today, and give us the opportunity to show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
You know what it is. This is your man, Peter Pablo. Once again, back is the Incredible, and this is Pirate Radio, and this is the voice of the Pirate Nation. And you know how it goes down when the Pirates are in town. Shut down.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, working for our community, not for shareholders. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back as we wrap up this edition of the Brian Bailey Show. The hour absolutely flew by, getting set for high school football on Friday. Busy time of the year, great time of the year, I'm telling you. Clip Brock, real quick, are you concerned about your Commanders after watching 2 preseason games at all? And were you concerned when Jaden Daniels went running toward the end zone in a preseason game?
Well, luckily he was playing the Bengals and they don't tackle, so it was fine.
Right.
I don't know if the preseason results are concerning me, but I am concerned about some other things.
Yeah.
The McLaurin thing, obviously, but now Brian Robinson is going to be traded or cut, and I don't know. It just seems like there's kind of a dark cloud over Washington right now.
Well, there's been a dark cloud down in Big D for a long time. So, the Micah Parsons thing hasn't worked itself out yet. In the preseason for the Cowboys, they haven't played anybody at all on offense. I mean, none of the offensive linemen, maybe some of those guys have played, but we haven't seen hardly anybody. So it's hard to tell, what you're going to get. And they play the Eagles, that first Thursday night. In Philadelphia. That's going to be a very difficult game anyway. But do you like watching the preseason? Are you one of those guys that
I love when it gets here, and then I
lose interest.
Don't really pay attention to it.
Kind of did the same thing. I watched most of I watched the first 3 quarters, and it was such a bad game that we decided not to. What did you think of Josh Aldridge today?
He was good,
yeah.
And Jarrett likes him and the defense so much that coming off media day, he's got him winning the conference now.
Wow, do you really? How about that?
Yeah, that's the fan side of me.
Okay, well, we're all fans. We may do this for a living, but we're all, deep in our heart, we're all fans, and people always should remember that. But yeah, I like what, it would be great if you get to November and you're in competition, for the conference championship. And I'm telling you, you can look at the Pirates' schedule. And obviously the state game is huge, and early on you got to win some of those games. But, man, when you get to November, that's where it's going to make or break it, I think. I mean, you look at those 5 games in November, and they always say, make it November to remember, that kind of thing. But that season starts probably at Temple on the 1st of November.
My one wish is that Memphis game means something. That could be a big one late in the year, because looking at that, they will probably be like 7-1, 8-0 going into that game.
Yeah.
With who they play, so that could be a huge game here in Greenville.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun to have a big game like that, and that's a game that. The Pirates have played them tough, beat them, what was it, in overtime last time they were here?
2 in a row, yeah.
So, yeah.
One there, one here.
Yeah, so there you go. So the Pirates have had their number. All right, let's wrap things up. And don't forget, next week, Shane Carden, Rajay Harris, Andre Brown, Todd Gibson got a star-studded lineup for our show next Tuesday right here at 12 noon. I want to thank Josh Aldridge, defensive coordinator, for his time, for coming in and going live with us here in the studio. And we will see you back here next Tuesday. By then, 48 hours away from game time for East Carolina and NC State. Have a great sports week, everybody.